I'm Princess India, and these are whatever animal ears these are. And I'm here with your September mid-month special announcement. You are not grieving the loss of them. You are grieving the loss of who you wish they were. This has been a public service announcement. And the intro's coming right now.
Why love superficially when we can go from hello to epitome, manifesting destinies?
Hello, Scorpio. I'm broadcasting pre-recorded / live from my office because I wanted to get you guys readings out, but you know, girls got things to do. You know what I'm saying? So anywho, you guys are the second highest views from September. I can't remember. I think Aquarius had 14,000. You guys had 12. So you guys are also the underdogs. All the people who I usually do like second to last or last are literally not playing games for mid-September. So congratulations to you, Scorpio persons. So we're going to go ahead and jump in this thug dizzle. See what's cracking. Spirit, please give me clear and direct guidance for my Scorpio peeps. Let us know what's going on with them for mid-September. So from now, today is the 17th. So from the 17th until what? Is it the 31st in September? And anything they need to know going into October, please, Spirit. Clear and direct guidance. We're asking for it ahead of time, but we know we're going to get it. Okay, sticking. All right. This is the first reading I've ever done from my office. This is interesting. Oh wait, what am I doing? Alrighty, so we're doing a spread a little bit different. We're going to look at what's going on with you guys, mind, body, and spirit, and then we're going to go into what your challenges and what your actions are for your September mid-month. First card that we have is the Page of Swords. Interesting. Next card that we have is the Queen of Swords. Oh, wow. Next card that... Are you kidding? Is the King of Swords. You're kidding me right now, Scorpio. That's crazy. Wow. Okay. Okay. So in you guys' thoughts, there needs to be a little bit of growth with you guys as far as in your realm of thought. It's the simple fact that you guys are kind of being reactionary as opposed to kind of weighing your options and seeing how things actually are. And then that's a little bit of an energy of not looking before you leap. So, because of course the Page of Swords is coming up in you guys' mind space. So it's more or less like, I guess the vibe that I would get from this is like you guys are introducing a new perspective in your life, right? So it's a new perspective that's coming into your life, and you're not really sure how exactly to handle things based on this new information that you have, right? Now, in your physical space, this is so interesting. With your physical space, you're showing up as the Queen of Swords, right? And I'm about to give you a different explanation for this, because with this being all core cards, this is just craziness. But anyway, but in your physical space, it's like the actions that you want to take want to be more balanced. So here's the thing. The vibe that I'm getting from this is, if we're still speaking this in alignment with a Scorpio person, this is more or less like your actions want to be more mature, even though you're new to this mindset. And of course, the Queen of Swords is someone who has been through it all, right? Like every single bad thing that could befall a human being has befall this young lady. sort of kind of young lady, right? So she's been through a lot, but through all of her pain, suffering, and struggle, she has grown. So the reason why she's so keen to making judgments and she can kind of see straight through people's crap is because she's been through a lot. So she has wisdom beyond her years, right? So this is more or less letting you guys know in a physical sense, it's like, even though, because I get the vibe you guys are trying a new mental perspective. So it's like trying not to be so negative. And in your action, you want to do the same. So you want to keep your eyes on the fact that energy has shifted, things have transformed. You know, in your mental body, you are a new person, even though you may not know how to handle each situation. But this is kind of helping you up in the sense of letting you know that you want to take a stance. So in your mind, you may want to be reactionary. So someone may say something or do something that makes you want to click, but it's more or less you want to practice like self-control in the sense of being wise in your discretion of how you're handling things and not to move too quickly. Now, in your spiritual body, we have the King of Swords. And this is a dude who is literally, he's analytical, he's strategic on how he's handling stuff. He's weighing both sides of things, but he doesn't show what's going on underneath. So in other words, with you being new to this perspective or how you're handling things, so to speak, it's like you taking a stance of being like grounded spiritually. So it's reminding yourself like, I'm new, this is new, you know, I'm not gonna approach things the way that I have in the past, and allowing spirit to really guide you moving forward on how to handle things if you don't know. But it's more or less like I'm seeing it as like him more or less covering all of this that's going on behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you want to appear balanced even if you feel like you don't want to do it. I don't want to say fake it till you make it. I don't want to say that, but that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting, is like even if you're unsure, it's really like trusting what you've learned up to this point and using that as a reference point of maybe like, say if you're triggered and you want to react, it's like remembering what the negative consequences are if you react that way, but then also almost like poker facing it to where you're not showing people what it is that's actually going on, like, or you going through this process underneath, right? Because your presentation to the world is going to be that of balance, but in truth, what's really guiding you, and I kind of feel like this is a message from spirit letting you know that even if you don't know how to handle the situation and practice just yet from this new mental perspective that you're taking, it's like knowing that in the right time, spirit is going to give you the right words. So not to really doubt yourself. Now, also the vibe that I get with this is this could be talking about a family, right? So this could potentially be a mom and a dad and a kid, you know, and a kid that you're kind of worried about, like teenager, kind of rebellious, you know what I'm saying? Or a kid that's just very whimsical, you know, very just not present. You know what I mean? And not present in the sense that like the kid isn't here, but I mean, they're just very caught up into their imagination, so to speak. And they may not be communicating clearly. And the thing that I'm seeing with that is because the mom and the dad are on two different pages. It's like I see the mom is more in a space to where she's trying to shift the situation and she's trying to be a liaison between the two, but it's like the dad isn't really seeing where the kid is coming from. So the mom sees that she doesn't understand the child per se, or she's not understanding where they're coming from a sense of experience, but she's willing to try to understand. But the dad is more, his fears are more in alignment with what he fears this child showing up as is. So it's almost like he's misjudging the situation because he thinks them being imaginative is going to make them impractical in the future. So the dad more or less wants to suppress this, whereas the mom is wanting to give the child the freedom to be who they are and to express themselves, to I guess like to develop and grow and to kind of see how things go. But it's just the dad is kind of straight edge, but I feel like the fear is irrational because I feel like this is just kind of like a phase. So it's more or less like with kids sometimes, like with them being super imaginative, it's worrisome because a practical parent would think, oh my gosh, they're never going to master anything. They're just going to be jumping from one thing to the next, right? So it's like a fear of them never mastering a trade. So being like a jack of all trades and a master of none, right? But I see that the mom, and this could go either or, because the dynamics of this would be, whoever takes on the masculine energy. So it could be the mom that takes on the masculine energy. It could be the dad that takes on the masculine energy. It depends on what the setup of, your whole ordeal is. But it's like the feminine energy isn't really so much concerned about the child. Like, she's concerned, but she's giving the child room to grow. But the father is not, because he just feels like he doesn't see value in this skill set. But the thing that I sense is that your kid is creative. So it may not look okay now, but it's like as they start to grow and they find like a tangible outlet for it. So whether that's like, I don't know why I want to say that robot building engineering stuff kids are into now. So whether if it's something like that or creating video games or something of the sort, it's just them needing a channel for that. But once they find their niche, they'll be able to channel that energy into that. But I don't really feel like it's a cause for concern, although I do understand why this masculine energy is concerned. So what I'm kind of feeling like is that, the female energy, feminine energy, mom energy, whatever, the stance that she's taking is an ideal one, in the fact that she's allowing the child room to grow. And I feel like with the dad, it's more or less a projection of fears, of fearing that the child won't like amount to something because they're not showing up like they're showing up, but it's because he's a little, closed-minded. Sorry. Next card that we have is the Two of Cups. So one of the biggest challenges going into October is going to be finding harmony. For those of you where this is talking about yourself, it's going to be finding harmony in your mental space. So it's you being able to maintain this new perspective, you being able to integrate that into your actions and to utilize the lessons that you used from the past, and to present that in more or less like a balanced manner, right? So this is what your challenges are going to be. The next card that we have is the Four of Wands. Oh my gosh. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so back to our little family situation. Our family situation, the thing that's most important here is love, right? And by love I mean acceptance. So it's accepting this child for where they are, right? And it's more or less like whatever it is that you're combating against, or whatever it is that you're resisting, i.e. daddy-o. So whatever it is that you're combating against or you're resisting, that's going to prevent you from getting the outcome that it is that you want, right? Which is complete balance, right? But the way that you're going to cultivate that is through this emotional connection. So it's through the promotion of saying like, I support you, or whatever direction you're going in, I'm supportive of you. That's going to cause that, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like an emotional bond to where the child feels supportive, to where the child will be able to open up more, and it's going to release a lot of the conflict that is happening presently, to where I think you'll start to see more tangible evidence of what it is that's occurring in this spiritual and emotional sphere. You know what I mean? You'll start to see more tangible evidence of it. But if you're resisting what is, which is the like how the child is showing up right now, if you resist that, then you're only going to create more resistance. So because it's like a form of rejection in a sense. So it's like the kid will feel rejected and want to pull back and not open up. But the key is in order to get what you want is not to resist the behavior, it's to embrace it, right? So through embracing the behavior is how it is that you get what you want. So it's more or less like parentals need to get on the same page to get the desired result. And what we have with your action going forward, we have the Two of Swords and the Six of Swords and the Six of Wands. Victory. So the whole thing that we're looking at here is it's needing to release this conflict, and the way that the conflict is released is through union. So it's more or less letting bygones be bygones. Stop making it about whoever it is who thinks that they're right, or thinks that their path is the ideal path, or their approach is the ideal approach, because that's what's causing an impasse and like a block right now. The way that that block is going to be healed is through acceptance and union, of saying like, let's put two heads together, you know what I mean, as opposed to being resistant to each other into the path that that the child is taking. Because the thing that I'm seeing going forward is, if we're reminded of what's most important, and the thing that's most important here is this Four of Wands energy, which is pretty much like this balanced family approach, and the focus being the happiness of everyone involved. It's like, if this becomes the main focus as opposed to who's right or who's wrong, or my way is right or my way is wrong, because I think in both ways, I feel like these two people battling with each other, like it's leaving this kid kind of out in the cold. So it's everyone being concerned with their own rightness is leaving this kid here like, hello, you know what I'm saying? So it's more or less like, through acceptance and working together is what's going to break this block that's holding you guys back, so that the family as a whole can move to more, I'm going to use the colloquialism, more calmer waters, you know what I mean? So moving out of this conflicting energy. And then I see going forward that it's going to be victory for everyone. So it's almost like going into a new pathway within the family. And I know I'm focusing a lot on this whole family dynamic deal, but I feel like that's kind of what's most important, because I don't know, if with dad's more concerned about finances. Like, he feels that, practical, tangible, hard work is what leads to success. And granted, yes, hard work does lead to success, but not everyone's path is the same. And it's like with mom, she really wants harmony within the family, you know what I mean? But I don't know, I feel like it's almost like she wants that harmony. It's almost like the mom doesn't like conflict, you know what I mean? And I don't know why I'm sticking with this family situation so much, but this must be important. But it's more or less like, okay, peace and harmony are what's important to the mom, but she will sometimes sweep things under the rug in order to obtain this illusion of peace and harmony, because she kind of wants to get over the rough conflict just to get back to a stable kind of place. And with the dad, it's like, with him, it's just like, 1 through 10, and we need to go through every single step in order to have success. But the question that's posed to the two is more or less like, are you willing to devoid a person's feelings at the cost of logic or what you feel is right? And with a mom, are you willing to glaze over a conflict that could actually bring all of you closer together? You know what I mean? As opposed to just avoiding it. So being like in a happy kind of denial. And in the midst of all of this, this kid is kind of being left out, in the sense that all the kid really wants is acceptance. So all the kid wants is acceptance. All the mom really wants is peace. And all the dad really wants is security and stability. But the thing that I'm seeing here is, even though you guys value different things, the importance is understanding the importance of acceptance and support amongst each other. So it's kind of, to me, like getting out of your own heads and seeing what the bigger cause is here. And it's the fact that your kid needs to feel supported. And if that becomes the main focus, as opposed to what either of you think is right, then that is what is going to get everybody what it is that they want. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, and I feel like I'm repeating myself, but everybody wants the same thing, but no one is seeing that there's different pathways to that same outcome that you all want. You know what I mean? So it's more or less just needing to respect each other's stances. Now back to my person, even though I really do feel like this is a family, but back to my person who is in this new challenge. It's like the thing that I'm seeing for you is it's acceptance of self in this new path, and it's more or less like internalizing this in a sense. It's like, even though you may be a novice at this or you may be new to this, and I really do kind of feel like this may be in relation to a job or personal development, it's like, even if you are a novice to this, the key is to feel like a king in spirit, and not necessarily faking it till you make it, but, you know, acting as, what is that? It's another colloquialism. Speaking things as not as though they were. So if right now, if you can act as a queen and feel as a king, even though you're a page, that's going to warrant you self-acceptance. It's going to remove blocks because that's shifting that energy. And you're going to be able to move into or work up into this abundance that you're desiring and being recognized for the hard work and effort that you're putting in. Because I'm kind of feeling like the thing that's causing instability in your life is a sense of self-doubt, or not feeling equipped for what you're doing. But the thing that I'm seeing that's most important is that this opportunity that's been awarded to you, like, it's in alignment with you, and this is pretty much like the gateway to what it is that you desire. So the abundance that you seek, the security and stability that you seek, it's like this opportunity being awarded to you is very much in alignment with you spiritually, but it's just all a cause of how you're thinking, how you're acting, and how you're manifesting this. But knowing that in a spiritual sense, you're already a king, even though you feel like a page, even though right now I feel like, you know, this is the best that I can do. So if you can just see yourself as a transformed being and apply the lessons that you've learned through your experience, either way it goes, I feel like you're going to be successful, because I'm seeing this more or less as this is something that's destined for you. So that's interesting. So a lot of sixes. Got 2 2s and 2 6s. That's interesting. Then we got a 4. Yeah, man. So I'm seeing, like, for you guys, this is like this is a step in the right direction for you all. So I feel like you're in the right place, even though you feel like you don't belong. Because I feel like this is like, for an individual person, it's feeling like you're not qualified, but you are. It's like you just don't see it yet. So it's more or less giving you the steps into how to see yourself, so to speak, if that's making sense. Spirit, let me get one chakra oracle card from a Scorpio people. This is interesting. Oh, dang. Interesting. Gratitude and balance. Not gratitude, it was balance that Aquarius got. Trying to see if I see anything else up in here. Y'all reading already 20 minutes. I think for some of y'all too, if we look at this in a romantic sense, which is kind of clear cut and straight to the point, if this is like a mom and it doesn't necessarily have to be someone with kids. If this is a relationship, regardless if you guys have kids or not, even though I do feel like this is a relationship with someone that has kids, I do feel like you guys are kind of leaving out of it's almost like a rekindling of emotions. So you guys leaving out of a time where there was blockages and moving into more of a calmer time. Oh, very interesting. You guys have aligned your life, and it says what is no longer in alignment with who you truly are. That's wonderful. So this is anything that's self-doubt. So whether this is for my family situation, my romantic situation, or my individual situation, This is you starting this new journey and this new path to what is in alignment with you. And a good question to ask yourself in meditation would be, what is it that's no longer in alignment with me? Because any conflict that's going on in your life that you want to move away from is because there's still something that's kind of lagging on from the past that is an imbalance. So, and I'm sensing it in a sense that it's a little bit of self-doubt or doubt in another person. So what would be helpful with both of these being our little purple cards, which means this is in alignment with your third eye chakra, would be doing meditations that are more or less in alignment with you opening yourself to spirit's guidance, right? And I'm sorry, my best friend just called. Anyway, so for our balance card, it says, this card may indicate a reluctance to change. You may be hesitating because of the past, but that doesn't mean you should be hasty. Weigh all sides before moving forward. This can mean the start of a relationship. Proceed slowly. And our next one is gratitude, and it says, you are capable of more than mere mortal conversation. This is a time of enlightened communication, and you will raise the consciousness of others. You are stepping into self-mastery. The gifts you see in others already live within you. Well, that's freaking interesting. This is dope. So to me, both of these cards falling out, this is speaking to both situations. It's literally for the individual Scorpio who's kind of doubting themselves and feeling like they're not equipped to move forward in this. This card here is telling you, you possess everything in you already in order to take advantage of this opportunity. So this is more or less like the break that you've been waiting for. So it's like, stop doubting yourself, because Spirit would not have opened this door or even, presented this opportunity to you if you were not prepared for it, or if you weren't equipped in order to manifest it. So it's you being able to see what you're able to bring to the table and seeing that within yourself, right? And then for my family, it's achieving balance. It's just the simple fact that seeing that both of you are right, both of you have a valid point, but the balance force here is looking at what's most important here. And the thing that's most important is love and acceptance. It's the simple fact of like relinquishing control and not being convinced of your own rightness in a sense, and allowing, I'm just going to put a period there, allowing, trusting and believing, and having faith that everything is going to work out for the good of everyone, as long as the root of all of our actions are love and desiring what's best for everyone, and we align our lives with that. Things are going to work out the way that we always desire they will. It's just sometimes it requires us to relinquish a little bit of control. So two minds put together, beautiful. So I hope that made sense, Scorpio people. And let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you guys sooner than later.
Why love superficially